Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing, I believe this is the 4th installment of the series I am calling Looks and Books. If you're new here, what that is I'm going to be doing a makeup look, but instead of telling you each step that I'm going through, I'm going to be discussing a book, whether it be in the form of answering questions, do a book tag, or something similar. Today I'm going to be answering some questions I found on Pinterest of the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. And for my makeup look, I'm just going to be doing a dark smoky eye, how I might view myself if I ever were a Shadowhunter. So let's just jump right in. Okay, my favorite book of the series, if you don't know, this series is 6 books long. And for most series, I actually really enjoy the first of each series because that is where you get introduced to the main characters, the main plot, you kind of just get immersed into a new world, and I just love that about first books in series. And then my favorite Shadowhunter, I'm going to have to say Isabel. She's just, I don't know, there's something about her that really drew me into her as a character, and I just love how she's kind of sassy, kind of a badass, yet she's really serious at times as well. Now, if I had to choose one sect of the Downworlders between Fairfolk, Children of the Night, Children of Lilith, or Children of the Moon, that's actually a tough question. I'm going to have to probably say Children of the Night. I mean, I don't think Children of the Moon get much, credit either, so I'm kind of flip-flop between them, but I think my top would probably be Children of the Night. My favorite Downworlder. I think I probably would have to choose Magnus. He's the first who comes to mind, and I really like him as an overall character as well. We really see a nice story arc with him throughout the entire series. Now, what is my favorite rune? I mean, who doesn't really want angelic power? I mean, that would be pretty kick-ass, but I mean, if I had to think of a different one, I would probably have to say the one dealing with luck, like having good luck. I think, of course, everybody would want a little more good luck in their lives, especially if they've been having a run of bad luck, which I do as well. But I mean, if there was like a rune for everything, it would probably be feel well rested upon waking, even if you only got 5 hours of sleep, because me being a mom, I could really use one of those. Now, Isabel and Simon, or Simon and Maya. Well, of course, Isabel is my favorite character in the entire series, and I really like Simon as a character too. And I do think they really work well together, so I think I'd have to go with Isabel and Simon, even though Simon and Maya, they were a good couple as well, but I have to root for my girl. Now, which is my favorite Clary and Jace scene? Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to long series, and especially when that series has like a main couple that you kind of focus on, like Clary and Jace in this series, I don't want to say I necessarily get bored with the relationship, but over an extended period of time, I get more invested in like side relationships that you see throughout a series. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like them as a couple, but like not too many scenes really jump out at me that are like, oh, this is your favorite. So I mean, the one that does jump out at me the most is when they're in Clary's mom's apartment after she was attacked by that demon, and he arrives and she jams what she thinks is his phone right into its mouth, which I thought was hilarious, and I think that was a pretty fun scene. And I think that's what really makes me like them as a couple, because they do have parts where they're like really humorous with one another, and it just made me laugh out loud. Now, if I had to choose between the Mortal Cup, the sword, or the mirror, I think I would probably choose the cup. And that is just by far my favorite because in the end, they did need to use it to create more Shadowhunters, and Simon actually drank from it and he became a Shadowhunter, so I really, really love that about that. Because even though in the beginning of the series, of course, people wanted to use the cup to do bad things, but then in the end, it did the job that it was intended for in the right hands. Now, Jace and Clary, or Simon and Clary, and I mean, in a lot of series and a lot of books in general, actually, you don't really ever see, like, the main character end up with their best friend. They kind of always go for, like, a different separate character who, like, enters their life through a different way. But then throughout the series, you see, like, the pull between Jace and Clary and how they're just connected in a certain way that Simon and Clary could never be. And even though, like, you know, I was rooting for the underdog throughout the first few books, I mean, I kind of see how, like, Jace and Clary, of course, like, they should be together, and I really did like the how the pairing ended up after all. Now, this question that I found on Pinterest, it was pretty, I thought it was pretty funny. So, let's say you ate fairy food. Would you rather run naked with antlers on your head or be turned into an animal? Now, I think it would be cool to be actually turned into certain animals. But I don't think you really have control over what you're actually turned into. I mean, of course, like, I'd be like, oh, I want to turn into, like, something majestic, like a lion. But then you get turned into a bird or something, or a small insect. So I think I would actually probably choose run naked with antlers on my head. Now, if I was given a chance to change any scene in any book, what would I change and why? And I actually really like pretty much the entire series. I wouldn't change anything because I think Cassandra Clare did a beautiful job from beginning to end, and I love her writing style. But, I mean, here's the thing. There are some scenes that I just did not like just because, you know, they make you uncomfortable to a certain degree. And I would have to say, when Clary believed that Jace was her brother, and there were some scenes that were kind of pushing it a little with their romantic relationship while they thought they were related. Now that, of course, like, just, you know, I didn't want to read that. It was kind of like, you know, uncomfortable to read. I mean, I think most of the people who have read the books, actually, like, you kind of know that Jace and Clary can't be related. You believe that the author would not actually go down that path and have them, like, you know, push those boundaries to that extent and then have them really be related. So, I mean, I think I knew that, of course, they're not related. It's going to be resolved eventually. But, I mean, just seeing those scenes, pushing it a little too far when they believe that they could be related, is just a strong no from me. And that brings this video to a close. I know I didn't really discuss too in depth about it, but it's pretty late right now and I am getting rather tired as I am filming, or actually recording, this voiceover. If there are any books or book series that you would like me to discuss, let me know in the comments below. And if I've read them, I will of course do them, and if I haven't, then I'll definitely be checking them out. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in my next one.